everyone, how you doing? I am Ravie Davie, the Fresh Prince of Drummond Square, and I'm joined with my partner
Georgia.
And this is the 10 Years In podcast, and we are on episode 7. The magnificent 7, some would say. Yep, that's actually fluent. Georgia was just saying that to me there, but what a time we are having, and we are here to keep going, I suppose. Nearly at 10 episodes in.
Right, that's the statistic that I said to you, that apparently when it comes to podcasts, people don't make it past episode 9. But I think we're doing pretty well.
We'll be there, no bother, not. I mean, we'll go to episode 8 filming this Thursday.
Yeah, Curtis has decided to take a day off.
Sorry,
Shame
man.
on you, Curtis.
Do you really want it?
So we're going to be recording 2 episodes this week. So it's Monday today, and then we'll be recording a second episode on Thursday.
Which is...
It's got to be a wee challenge, I think.
Interrupting my Blink 182
Yes,
plans.
David's going to see Blink 182
Myself.
on Thursday himself, who I just would never be able to do that.
I'll be going in the mosh pits and all that. Enjoying myself.
Yeah, actually, I'd bought you this for Christmas 2022?
No, last year, but the year before.
And then it got cancelled, rescheduled, and it's gone ahead on Thursday. So after we record Thursday's episode, he's heading straight to the Hydro.
Can't wait for it. But this is Monday. This is the start of the week, and we are here. We're here to talk about what somebody wanted us to talk about on the comments today. So this is going to be an episode where we're focusing on ADHD, because it's had a big part in myself and Georgia's life, our relationship. For the last 10 years, Georgia's had to deal with it, and for the last 30 years, I've had to deal with it. Even though for a lot of those years, I didn't quite know what it was or how to work around it, but obviously now that I'm 30 years old, I've got a wee bit of experience in dealing with it. So
you've got experience in overcomplicating it and blaming it on anything that you do wrong, you mean?
If that's what you go for, that, then fair enough.
So I did get the girl's name. So Alice Elizabeth, thank you for the question. It's such a good question. Alice wrote on episode 1 because we kind of introduced that you had ADHD then, and she just asked a good question, which was what's it like having ADHD versus what it's like living with ADHD. So we wanted to take some proper time to talk about it, and I'd said to David in the house the other day, I think you should go back and speak about it for when you were young, because I don't think a lot of people will realise that you got diagnosed when your mum was still alive. So I said to you, try and talk about, like, do you remember being diagnosed and how did it feel for you?
So I don't exactly remember with the doctor
Too young, probably,
coming in and saying, oh, your child has ADHD, but I do remember being young and having it and people talking about it and stuff like that. I actually always remember it was like my mum's dying wish that I never took the medication. I don't know, because apparently it made you like a zombie, but now thinking back, I think it maybe you didn't get as much money on the DLA, your disability living allowance, if you were on the medication. So my mum was like, no chance, not when he's not taking that medication, I need that money, not when single parent here with 2 wins, I need as much as I can get. But no, so I never really took medication for it or anything like that. But I always remember it when I was younger. So I'd say I'd probably diagnosed with about 4 or 5, because I died when my mum was 6, and I can really remember.
You never died.
What?
Your mum died.
That's what I said when my mum died when I was.
You said when I died.
No, I didn't. I said I took it when I remember it when it was 4 or 5, because my mum died when I was 6.
Okay.
I'm sure that's what I said. Well, can't wait to watch this back. No, I'm going to slam dunk you if I'm right. But anyway, no kidding on. So as I was saying, I remember being about 4 or 5 and having it, because I remember when I had ADHD as well, and I've always had it. Not I mean, always had this, but no. I always remember people not taking it seriously when I was younger. When I was like 4 or 5, it wasn't like, oh, there's no such thing as ADHD. You're just a Wayne that can't get looked after. And this was obviously amplified then when my mum passed away. People were just kind of saying that my nana couldn't look after me. Obviously, I didn't take like, any medication or that, so I was very, very hyper. So people would kind of like say, oh, ADHD isn't actually a thing. Your kid's just hyperactive. You just can't look after them. You're just using this is something to blame when it wasn't. I remember going all for like screenings and things. I remember my nana trying to calm me down before I'd go and see these social workers, because she was obviously a bit, no embarrassed about it, but she was obviously a much older woman who was looking after her grandkids. Obviously, probably enough, what's the word, judgment on her for that. So she's just not wanting to have this wee hyperactive way and jumping about all the time. So she was always trying to calm me down going to these meetings. I think she maybe was of the belief that it wasn't real, to be honest, my nana. I think she was maybe of the belief that that maybe I was just a bad kid because I had lost my mum and stuff like that, and she was obviously trying to calm it down. So I kind of remember that side of it, but I can always remember I wasn't allowed to drink Coca-Cola because it would make you hyper. I always remember in school and stuff, because I would always get a wee bit more leeway when getting into trouble and stuff like that in primary school. But somebody would get into trouble with. If I wouldn't get into trouble until it was like the second or third time, because they knew my attention wasn't as good. I just remember all these things like it was just hard for me to cope with a lot of stuff. Like in school, it was hard for me to, I liked a lot of the subjects, but it was hard for me to try and actually stick in at them and do all the work. I'd rather talk to people, and then even when I'm talking to people, then I get distracted and go back to my work and stuff like that. So I remember kind of growing up with it and all these kind of things, but obviously it was a bit harder being young because there wasn't a lot of information about it, and as I said, a lot of people seen it as you don't actually have that. That's just something that your parents are saying you've got because, or the doctors are saying you've got because you're a badly behaved kid.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously now there's a lot more out there, and when I grew up and I started reading about it and learning, it kind of put all the puzzle pieces together of why I was like this. And
can you remember anything that you used to do in school that, like when you were misbehaving?
I would always talk over the teachers, obviously, like talk to my parents.
I can't believe you would do that.
So I'd always talk over the teachers. So one thing I used to always do as well, right, because without sounding, because I was quite badly behaved, I wouldn't pay attention, and I had ADHD. I would always kind of get put on like kind of easier working classes. So I'd kind of like, but I'm not quite smart, like, you know yourself. Not I mean, I'm not daft. Not I mean, people probably think I'm daft the way I talk and the way I act, but I'm not quite clever. So I'd always finish this like the badly behaved like level of maths I would get given. I wasn't badly behaved, so I wasn't stupid, but at that, well, I'm not saying that people that own this level of maths work were stupid, but you know what I mean. It was definitely the maths work I was given.
Too easy for you.
It was too easy for me, so I'd finish it very quick, and then I'd talk to the person next to me and distract them, and then I'd always get in trouble for that. I used to always go and sharpen my pencils until they were like, tiny. I'd always sit for ages. I remember I got an Alpha Smart one time, and this was for the Alpha Smart was for the badly behaved kids, or the ones that were like, I don't know, daft maybe. So I'd always get given that, and people would always say it was because I was daft, but it wasn't. It was because I couldn't concentrate. So they thought if I had this wee cool keyboard thing in front of me, that I'd pay attention. So I'd have that. What else? Reading stuff. They always try to get me to read stuff in classes, and then like halfway through it, I would like start reading like other pages on the book. I
can imagine you doing that, by the way. I remember people in my class who had the Alpha Smart.
People would have wrote on the book something, and I would read that out instead.
I can remember people in my class having the Alpha Smarts and always thinking, I want one of them.
Oh, they were good, man, but it didn't make any difference for me. But no, I mean, I was like typing, I'd be talking to somebody, finish my work a bit early. If anything, actually slowed me down the Alpha Smart, because well, my writing's terrible, but I'm a fast writer, whereas with my Alpha Smart, I was like...
Yeah. Remember, a lot of people on Spotify who won't be able to
so
see
basically
what you're
I'm
doing.
going clink, 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 QWERTYing it up, know what I mean, pressing with my two horns like a big caveman, prehistoric, we're going doof, 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 doof.
So I'd say moving on into adulthood, when you got older, I'd say that what I can recognise, some things that you do you can't help, makes you frustrated sometimes.
I get annoyed about it because obviously it's a simple task for other people, that no matter how hard I try, I struggle with it. And then if I do really want to like overcome it, it's like an extreme. So like, for example, I struggle with timekeeping, so I'll never be able to put a plan in place where I'll be there bang on time. I'll either be late or like half an hour early, and that also annoys me because then I'm obviously sitting about agitated for like half an hour. So I always end up being like 5-10 minutes late for things and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously I don't like doing that.
I would agree. I think the timekeeping. So I've got a wee list of things.
Oh, have
right?
you? I love that's
Which
quite...
probably won't surprise you, but
No.
some of them you've already covered as well. So, as I said on episode 1, initially you didn't really mention ADHD at the start, and then as we were going out with each other for a couple of years, you then started mentioning it, particularly when you were asked to clean up anything. Because then you either wouldn't want to do it, and then you would start saying, but I've got ADHD, which at the time I thought he's just making this up, but actually as the years have went on, I've learned, right, okay, some things you definitely can't help it, but other things you do put it on. Okay, will you even admit that?
What? No, no. Obviously, I would not. I'm a fucking candid camera. I'm not admitting anything until I get it.
So, I put on never on time. Now, you're never on time for anything. So you said there you'll either be half an hour early or half an hour late. But seeing the time that you're early, then in your brain you'll then start to say, but this is my half an hour, I deserve this time. So you then distract yourself going by doing something else, which you'll then end up being late after that, because at that time, that 30 minutes you'd gained then becomes somebody else's, you're then late for whatever it is. So the never on time is really hard because I'm always early. So that's a problem sometimes. And if I ever get ready early and I'm like, but we're ready, we're 10 minutes early, let's just go, you won't be able, your brain will not allow you to leave the house earlier than what we said.
Aye, because that's
that'll make you really angry.
That's why obviously as well, I kind of like, so I'll time it to be ready for that exact time. But so if you're 10 minutes ready early, I'm no, know what I mean?
David, it takes you about 15 minutes to think about putting on a pair of socks. Like, you don't.
It takes you 15 minutes to put on a pair of socks. Fuck's sake, man, with big feet.
He's getting defensive now. He's starting to blame me. By the way, I want to say this right now. I'm 5'2". I'm a size 6 in a shoe, and he does not let me forget it. I think a size 6 in the UK is like a standard size for women, but for whatever reason, he says that it's no right that I'm 5'2" and I've got a size 6 shoe. And I want to hear people's opinions about that.
Let us know in the comments. Like, she also says, but so she exposes you all to me, and she says that all women are like size 6s and 7s, but you are all too shite bag to admit it, and you all wear size 4 or 5s, and that's how your wee toes are getting crushed in your wee heels and all that. You are absolutely gasping for air on a night out with your wee little piggies, man, absolutely going wee, where's the fucking fresh air, man? I'm choking here.
The best part about it as well, like going out with David for 10 years, always been a size 10, always with them one day, I'm a size 11. I was like, you are just talking crap. But these are he regularly wears a size 11. I'm like, they don't fit him. They look close.
You want to squeeze them? Go squeeze them.
No.
Go squeeze them. Go give them a squeeze.
Anyway, we're talking about ADHD. Wait, so, the other one thing that really gets to me is how messy you are. And it actually doesn't only affect me in the house, but also in the hub where David has his wrestling classes. He's got a room where the wrestling ring stays all the time, and it's his duty to make sure it's clean. Now, in his eyes, this room is tidy, and actually to me, I get anxiety when I walk in the room because I'm thinking everything, it's like a bomb has hit the room. So it's that bad that the managers now in the hub actually phone and ask to talk to me to tell David he has to clean his room. So I need to deal with it in the house, but I also get into trouble for you or for other people because you don't listen, and you're the only person. Right, I'm the only person you listen to.
Right, to be fair, I'm a messy bastard, right, in my house, not, but the hub can't just be attributed to me, you know what I mean? I've got other people that should get the finger out now. Which, to be fair, we're all working together and we're tidying up before we leave and all that. It's just because we're in the place that much, as soon as we're finished, we are choking to get out there, you know what I mean? Which isn't it. Also as well, you know what I mean, we do, as soon as our class finish, you've got somebody waiting there to pap us out, know what I mean? Like, get out, we're about to get him, so we've no go time. Why should we finish up?
Point it'll be why should 4 o'clock?
Why should we finish up 10-15 minutes early to tidy up if they can't let us? They should let us stay on the 10 to 15 minutes. Anyway, so, I don't know why I'm.
I don't know why you're arguing about that, but I've got another one. So David will, because he's ADHD, will lose everything, right?
This pisses me off.
Yeah, so he's now, when he loses a bank card at least a couple of times every month, and the Bank of Scotland have now started charging him a £5 to get a new bank card because he's in there that regularly, to the point where they tried to charge him a £5 and he went off his nut, told the woman in the bank he's got an illness and it's ADHD, where they've waived his fees now and he gets free bank cards because even though you lose them that much. So you will get bank cards like, I'd say every couple of weeks.
Well, no, it's bad anymore because obviously the online stuff and all that, and actually I'm scared now to cancel them because I don't want to have to have my card for 3 days.
So
I think it's the opposite now.
You kind of use it online now and don't order a new bank card because it's not worth your time, is it?
No, I'm not busy then.
You're joking? So another thing that I would say, sorry, I know this is just going on and on and on.
No, I'm just
is actually 1 minute, how do I describe this? You're all sugar or all shite. So you're all dead hyperactive, or you're like falling off a cliff, like the lights are on but nobody's home. It's like you're disorientated sometimes, and you'll like maybe like you'll ask a question, you'll say, "What are we having for dinner?" And if I say spaghetti bolognese, do you want that? And then you just stare right through me, and I say, "Do you want that?" And you say, "What are you talking about?" And you'll just completely forget.
Yeah, that does happen quite a lot.
What's going on? So that's pretty hard. So I
struggle with that one a lot because obviously I'm talking to people and I can be in full conversations and I just forget what's got to be said. That's how as well in conversation that's why I do butt in with people. But see, if I'm talking to you, right, and you've got a really good point and I remember that there's something that relates to your story, I need to butt in and tell you, because I'm an ignorant bastard, because if I don't, I'll forget that, and then when you finish your story, I'll have this thing and I'll get heavy annoyed about not knowing it. Whereas if I say to everybody about it, then hopefully when you finish your story, we can then bring up what it was I wanted to talk about, and then I can remember it. Because if I just sit and go, right, and also it would be quite, it'll be pure,
I need to say these words.
I need to say, you know what I mean? And I'll forget. That obviously, you're probably like, no, that was fucking up you know what I mean?
So it's hard. I think it was hard at the start, but now I just sort of get used to it, and I can kind of plan ahead of what's about to happen. I know when he's about to lose something, or when something's about, or when he's not listening, or whatever. And I just don't react anymore. Do I moan about it?
There's another thing I think this is actually quite good for it. But there's my hyperfixations. Yeah. So Georgia doesn't like it. These sometimes obviously she doesn't mind them. But so what will happen is I would get. See, I probably done that. I think I just done that there before. Was that a question you'd asked me though?
No, I just said to you, do you feel like I don't get frustrated with it anymore?
Right, fair. I know you don't get as annoyed. Sometimes you do, but as I'm saying, sometimes I think you get a wee bit of ADHD and you just forget that I've got it and that I'm a dick at times when I don't mean to be. It's just obviously my wee mental health issue. But no, so I was saying that there's another thing about it which I actually like, obviously, because it means that I don't get bored often. Well, actually, I get bored quite easily, but then I get something to fill the void. So it's my hyperfixations, and like it's quite annoying sometimes as well. That's why I know I want to be a wrestler. That's why wrestling is my life, and I know that's what I'm meant to be. Because it's the only thing I've ever liked that I've never, after a couple of months, went, you know what, I'm going to go to something else. And to be fair, sometimes even with the wrestling, I'll push it back a wee bit. And other things will come up and I'll enjoy that a bit more.
Do you mean push it back half an inch or something?
You know what I mean, but but sometimes I do try and do other things. Like, remember when I was doing the Twitch and all that, I was like kind of focused on that. But wrestling's still always the thing that I love. So that's how I know wrestling's what I'm meant to be, because the amount of times I'll like something, I'll be like, watching every YouTube video on it, learning everything about it, man, and finding out every single bit of knowledge you need to know for it, being pure into it for 3 months. And then George will be like, so you watching that tonight, or are you doing this tonight? And I'll be like, no, I don't even really into it. I'm not really into it anymore. No, what the fuck, man, I've just ordered you fucking the discography for your birthday.
That is so true. One thing I did put down here is like, you're actually very smart and like you know a lot, and I think that it doesn't come across that way sometimes unless you sort of know you well enough, I would say.
You get pure senseless knowledge. Man.
Whereas I'm really stupid.
I know. True. Not kidding,
but I think that, do you ever wish, looking back, that you did take medication, or are you happy you never?
I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to affect my mom's bag, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't want to, obviously, with my nana and that, all the toys they got knocked down. No, that's just a wee joke. I don't really know. It would be good to see how my life was on medication and stuff like that, but I also feel like I am who I am because like, a big part of me is that I've got ADHD.
Do you remember a good few years, this was 6 years ago or something, me and you were arguing so much about your ADHD because of all the things that was just gone wrong, and then you went and got a meeting and all that with the consultant who was going to speak to you about maybe going on medication and that, and then you forgot about the appointment and didn't go and you just didn't ever go back again. Like that's like a constant thing in your life.
A job, but I had quite a job for quite a while. I guess I started then doing the bins. And obviously I like doing the bins.
Yeah.
And then obviously like, right, well.
It's like when things are going well, you're like in the moment and you're fine. It's maybe gone back or the years ago you maybe were unsure what you wanted to do or something, like as a job.
Sometimes that's what I'm saying, I had a hyperfixation one time. I wanted to be the best bin man about, man. Every day when I was shifts and that, pure smashing it 4 on 4 off, taking 2 bins at a time. I would get eyes like, at me, man, you're doing too much, me, man. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, mate. I want to get home earlier, know what I mean? Job and finish.
Like, when you're doing something, like, there's no, like, you want to be the best at everything. Like a good few years ago, just after lockdown, David got this hyperfixation that he loved basketball, and he joined this club, and he ended up, the club had to have a meeting because he was fouling all the time, that he was actually going to get banned because he was actually going to this club and you were just whacking people and weren't actually following the rules, but because you were so obsessed with the fact you wanted to be the best that you nearly got papped.
Go hard or go home, innit, man? I'd rather fucking put all my effort. It wasn't even as mean to foul, I just obviously try to play the game, man. Just showed these guys that here I like my basketball.
See as well, like when we're on holiday, this is like this gives me the ick so badly, right? But this has just came to me that now, like they'll play like water polo and stuff on holiday. He'll always put his name down for all the games, right? Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if he's never played before. Doesn't matter if it's like 14-year-old wee boys that are in the pool or try to have a nice game. He's in there, that water polo, and he's actually drowning people, ducking people's dads. He's under, grabbing the ball, swinging people about. Like it's
winning.
Always.
It's called winning. All right.
It's called a fucking ready.
What?
Like,
aye, for the guys that are getting flung about, no for me, no for the fucking Victor earlier. Alright, man.
So it's always like maximum 125% effort, but then some days it's like minus 125%, and I think that as your ADHD, some days it's like I'm going for it, and then other days like I cannot be bothered. But I guess everybody's like that in life, to be fair. You're only always going to be 125% unless you're playing sports. Would you agree with that?
Aye, man. Yeah.
So hopefully that's sort of like covered it. I think that over the years both of us have just learned to deal with it, where we just sort of help each other out with it.
If anybody has got ADHD, the advice I would give for you is, right, honestly, because we ADHD, I've struggled with jobs, relationships, timekeeping. When I say relationship, I mean like personal relationship, friends and stuff like that as well. Work relationships, as everything. One relationship with her, to be fair. And relationship with her, to be fair. Talk about you. What else? All these different things. The advice I would give for you is try and make one of your hyperfixations your job, because then you'll be able to be focused more, because it is one of the things that you like, and you'll no use it as an excuse as much, because the thing that you're doing is you love it. I've still got ADHD when I'm wrestling, but yeah, it tends to be that it doesn't rear up as much, or if it does, I find a way around it quickly. Whereas when it's been other jobs that I've had or other things that I've done, it can be, well, I can definitely, if I've for example playing fives and I do it every week, I can 1 week lose my football boots and no make it in time, stuff like that. Whereas that really never happens with the wrestling. And if it was the football boot thing, I'd probably just leave that and just no go that week, or just patch it. But the wrestling, I'd find some way to overcome it and do it. So that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't need to be wrestling, know what I mean? If you're into badminton, know what I mean? Try and get yourself a wee job as a badminton coach or something like that, know what I mean? Put all your hyperfixations in the one basket, because it just means that it is something that you like. It doesn't even need to be a job, even just get yourself something that you're really into, so that you've got something beyond the hyperfixation kind of thing.
It's hard because I think a lot of people these days are finding it hard to be diagnosed and they're waiting for ages and stuff. It's big waiting lists, and I think people are genuinely struggling with it in everyday life. You're probably lucky that you got diagnosed really early and have learned to cope with it. No lucky, but you know,
Look at that.
you've always been a loony anyway.
No, definitely. But no, I do agree with that. There is a lot of people that are saying to me, I can, like, when I go into wrestling school, I can kind of see somebody with ADHD a mile away. I've said to a lot of parents about their kids, and then they tell me they're either on the waiting list, or then when they've finally been seen, the parents will come to me and say, you were right. I was like, aye. Didn't need to be on the waiting list for 2 years to see that. I tell you that, bring them along, mate. But so with that, obviously it is harder for people. I think as well with the fact that there's so much more knowledge out there about it, there's obviously going to be more people on the waiting list and stuff, because people are going to resonate with it. I do that a lot. There will be people that just all the time the places not that don't have ADHD, and they're like, I've probably got that. No, I mean, yes, here we go, take it out here. Yeah,
but hopefully we've covered it all. But if you've got any specific questions.
Do you know what? I've got an offer at something that I think I'm quite, that it's an ADHD thing. So if I've got ages to do tasks and stuff like that, it's very, like, I'll struggle to get it done. But yeah, if it's like in a situation where it's very last minute, or I'm under pressure or stuff, I feel like I work at my best, and that's apparently an ADHD thing, that you work better when things are all against you and stuff. I do feel like when my back's all against the wall, I do always perform better.
Yeah, so. I would agree. But yeah, sorry, I was just saying, if I've not covered it, and they can ask any more questions, but hopefully that is helpful.
Yep. So so let us know in the comments, or even just message me and ask me or Georgia or 10 Years on podcast.
Instagram or something, we can answer you back. But we've had a big week with Love is Blind.
I've been watching it.
I just want to say right now, I'm proud of you. This is David's first time ever watching any really reality TV, and I thought it was going to take a lot of convincing to get him to watch it, but we're 6 episodes in, and so we started watching it on Thursday, and David does this thing which won't surprise you after everything we've just spoke about. I need to wait to a specific time when he's ready. It'll need to be like, see if it's like 7:30 we're waiting on, but this time it'll be 6 o'clock, even though he's not doing it, and he'll need to give me a time and I need to wait to it. But I thought, you know what, he's got to watch it with me, so I'm just got to leave him. He finally gets into bed and elbowed me right in the fucking heat.
I mean, right, so she's on the left side, right, so I'm watching the telly, and a day obviously I'm very tired all the time, so I don't want to fall asleep. So to make sure that I wasn't in a very resting position, just making sure that I wasn't in a very resting position, I have turned round to put my head like that and sit on. Georgia's there, so I've went, boom, hit her right in the eyeball and nearly knocked her out.
Yeah, and it was actually agony, so that definitely woke me up. But we've been loving it, and David, I think, is more into it than me. He's been giving them nicknames and everything, and he's like, what time are we watching it on Friday night? So we are just going on to episode 7, but I want to know, who's your favourite couple?
Right, so let me interlude a wee bit, right? So Georgia did say it's hard to get me to watch reality TV, and the main reason it is hard for me to watch it, I just think most of it's a lot of shite, right? And even with this one, I'm not actually enjoying watching it, but I'll even say I think this is a lot of shite. It's just, it's always fake that these people are kidding on, they're coming on, you actually get married.
Maybe we should cover what the show actually is.
Fair enough,
well,
that's good.
I didn't even really need to explain it to you last week because you'd already heard.
Aye.
So, Love is Blind UK is just a reality TV show where people are basically dating each other without seeing each other, and then they finally get proposed to behind a wall.
So they're in a big room, they're in a big private room themselves, and then, like, for example, say me and Georgia had a screen in front of us, that would be the other room, and you could talk to each other.
They're basically dating each other, but they aren't allowed to say anything about what they look like, and they're not allowed to see each other. Then eventually, when they've done loads of speed dating, there's like 16 guys, 16 women. Eventually the guys will propose to the women that they like, and then there's like 6 couples that'll go through to the next round, and basically they're then going to get married. So this is the first time it's ever been a UK show. So there's 6 couples that have went through, and David's been giving the couples nicknames.
I've given them nicknames, so that's what I'm saying. So as I said there, I still feel like it is, like, I'm really enjoying watching it, right? Which I don't even usually give these things a chance, so I just think I won't enjoy that, because I do think they are, as I said, a lot of shite, right? And the reason I think it's a lot of shite, as I'll say, is there's not one person, the 32 people, there's not one of them who've been on that show and said, I'm actually here to get married. No, I mean, they might get married, they might end up falling in love with somebody, meet somebody, which actually, I'll go into in a minute, that some of the couples actually do think that people really are getting on and stuff like that, and I think they might end up having a successful marriage. But there's not one person that has went on that show with the idea, like, I'm just here to get married. They obviously want to get famous and have a bit of clout and that, which fair enough. Look who is talking. I mean, I can't say nothing. I've been chasing fame for the last 10, 15 years of my life, so I can't really say nothing, but like, I just find all that stuff pure false. Like, it's meant to be reality TV, but they can't even tell us that they all are just talking about maniaca, and they don't actually want to get married, so they're just there to get famous. So I find that premise, that's what always annoys me. You know what I mean? Like Geordie Shore and stuff like that as well, they used to be like, oh, this is real, it's all 100% real, and there's obviously bits that they put in to make it more entertaining, which fair enough. So the couples that I said, right, so there's Stabrina, right, or is it Sabin?
Your top is raided all the way up.
Was it?
You're flashing to people every week on this. You're trying to flash either your boxers.
I thought it was my boxers you were looking at, man. I was kind of hoping I was getting away with it. So is it Sabrivin or is it Davina? That's the one of the 2 older people that
we liked them straight away.
Yeah, they were really good. So that's what I'm saying. I really do think these 2 have hit it off, and they actually are a really good couple. They are suited to each other, similar ages. I wouldn't really say either of them are punching. I think they've picked well just through speaking to each other. But there's no way that either of them were going on it just to, like, find love, let's actually get married. Obviously, you're going on it, and if something happens, it happens. But it's just more that I think they don't want to. But anyway, that's me getting past this point now. That's me just telling you my thought on it. That's why I didn't watch these stuff. But Stabrina, that's my favourite couple so far. Then there is, who else was there? There was Jazobi or Bobman, but I think Jazobi's better.
So it's Bobby and Jasmine.
Bobby and Jasmine.
I quite like them.
I'm not really. It's not really.
I just like the fact that Jasmine told Bobby what to do, and he just went
right
over to Ollie.
He get told what to do, man. I can't believe that. I think it actually looks like Aston Marigold for JLS, to be honest with Bobby. So his missus put it right down. There's another. In fact, so I'll just go through all the couples. Then we've got.
I love the fact he's rhyming off on it. He knows them all and everything. Like.
Then we've got. Is it Dolly or is it Dolly or Omi? I don't know how you say this one. Their name doesn't really compact for a wee cute nickname, know what I mean? But Demi and Ollie, they were the one me and George actually, I feel like we really liked at first, but now there's a bit of drama and stuff like that. And
in my opinion, I'd be interested if people think this. I think that Ollie has saw Catherine and now doesn't want to be next to Demi in case he's got a chance with Catherine.
Alright, so may as well go to Catherine next. Catherine is with a wee guy called Freddie, whose eyes are too close together.
He's got a problem with Freddie's eyes.
It's just very, very close. Looks like Shawn Michaels, man. So he does nowadays, he's mad eyes close together. But so they two are actually a really suited couple as well. 2 of them are very good looking. They've got good athletic bodies, and I don't know, they're both of them are quite dry as a doorknob, know what I mean? Their pattern, their personalities are a bit pish, so I feel like that goes well together. Then
what about Sam? He was your favourite, wasn't he?
Sam, I absolutely hated him, man. Sam was something I kept saying something that I probably am not going to repeat on the podcast, but I seen the vibes of a snake for him. I actually thought he was racist, to be honest. I'm not even kidding on. When he started getting together with one of the couples, I actually said, I bet you when they get together, he ends up no gone with her. And I was like, I bet it's because he's a racist.
Remember when the doors opened, he kept saying, just trust me.
It was just pure off. I don't know why I got the vibe that he was a racist, to be fair. I just knew he wasn't going to go with the woman once Nicole. They actually met each other. And lo and behold, they didn't turn up to the place together. So Nicole's now gone with a guy called
Ben, but I can't remember.
So Ben and that are actually my least favourite couple, because I actually feel, see that thing that I'm saying about
they just went together and get on the show.
Literally, like, see that, Ben, have some fucking self-respect, mate. Know what I mean? She knocked you back, she dumped you, and then she's been new dumped, and she's bringing you onto the show to be your second or third. Know what I mean? Sloppy seconds, mate. Know what I mean? Actual play the game. Yeah. Rotten wee man. Know what I mean? Just chasing the fame, and you don't even look like a guy who wants to chase the fame, and all. You're meant to be a wee spiritualist guy. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chill out and just go and take some mushrooms and enjoy your night. Know what I mean? Going back onto the, so that's what they're my least favourite. So going back to, is that them all? No, there's one I'm missing.
That's them all. No, it's them all. Oh no, there's no Tom and Maria.
Aye, Tom and Maria, man. Taria or Mom. Mom for Americans. No, I kidding. Them again, they're alright. I think Maria's Tom's beard, to be honest. No, I mean, he's always chatting with all the ladies and stuff like that. He's very condescending, very gossipy. That's just what I think. I might be wrong. Know what I mean? Nothing wrong with it, obviously, no. But I'm just saying, I feel like he is giving off vibes that he bats for the other team.
Yeah. You keep saying that, but one of the things that we spoke about was that when some of the guys, when they were in the dating in the pods initially, they kept writing each other poems.
Aye.
So, and this took us back, well, it doesn't take us back.
All the ones that wrote poems got picked, just saying.
So, yeah. So, it was got me and David talking the other night, and actually David writes me poems and has been writing me poems on every single occasion for the last 10 years about how much I'm on, right? And I thought I need to bring one of the cards along with me, and we'll read it out for the pod, because this is funny. Like, I only brought one card, but this was for my 30th birthday.
Cause you bent the rest of them.
I did, but there was too many. Like, there's 10 years worth, and it's like every occasion, like even on Christmas Day, I'll get at least 3 or 4 like poems, separate poems about how much I'm on. And like, I mean, I guess there's a bonus of you being a lyrical rhymer and being a MC back in your day.
No, definitely, but I feel like that was a very diplomatic answer, what you just said there. What you said earlier, when I said to you, where are they on, you said you bent them, you said, when I moved out to this new house, I was completely done with you, and I got rid of all the poems to be done with you.
That's true. But I've tried to dump you numerous of times, so you just keep saying we're not fun out with each other, so what's the point?
No chance.
Get up now. Anyways, so
if you can't... I keep coming back.
Right, so I've got the card here. Sorry if you're listening on Spotify, you won't be able to see the actual card, but...
You don't even show it to the camera, you need to show the full thing.
Sorry. Here we go. You want to read it out?
I'll read it, because you'll get caught in it. Right, so here is me, Georgia, and Bo. Open it up. Here's Georgia, champion of my heart. So it goes, my WPC, my gorgeous girlfriend. It's been almost 8 years now, and we're nowhere near the end. You like a laugh, and you love a moan, and you love to act like you should be sat on a throne. And to be fair, I do agree for everything you do for me. You're a star that shines so bright, and you've brightened up my life ever since that one Christmas night. I don't know where I'd be without you. I do not have a clue, but all I know is my life wouldn't be as good, and that is very true. And 7 years in, you still surprise me. Even have me shocked. Like when you put yourself out to the road and started a TikTok. Georgia Nisbet going forward. You gained a following and lost a lot of weight, and for that I am so proud. So please, my gorgeous girlfriend, never change, except maybe telling me not to be so loud. Lots of love from your WPC, David. Love you to the moon and back. XOXOXOX.
What's WPC?
My wee prawn cracker.
Everybody always asks you that when you write WPC.
And the reason that is because obviously me being the banter merchant, because somebody actually on Facebook years and years ago called a lady that they were fan into their wee prawn cracker on Facebook, and me and Georgia laughed about it so much that that is our wee nickname for each other. She's my wee prawn cracker. And I'm her wee prawn cracker and all.
So it's no long till Christmas, so I'll be getting more poems.
Aye, you will. Might get you one for Halloween, to be fair.
Exactly. So I'm a lucky woman.
Yep.
Definitely.
So, as I said, all the guys got picked that had the poems. Yep, you know. All the guys that get picked, all the guys that had the poems got picked. And obviously I've been picked for the last 10 years.
Oh, that's so cute. That is so cute. So, talking about episode that we done last week, we were talking...
To go back just before, I think everybody should watch Love is Blind and tell us about it and stuff like that. There's some amount of bo ragging on it, know what I mean? They're all dirty wee pervs, so maybe I don't know.
Why is that a selling point?
I don't know. When I was younger, man, that's when you watched. Like, I say about reality TV. Used to love Big Brother when I was younger, but then when I was getting a bit older and I was out enjoying myself and doing stuff, I would kind of that'd be the question when somebody would tell me about what Big Brother. I'd be like, is there any in it? And then if there was like a hang with it, you'd maybe start watching it like, oh, who's at it? Oh, Anthony Mikosi, you know what I mean? Oh, what's happening now? Kinga?
Oh my god. Okay, so everybody should go and watch it. If David likes it, then that is saying something, because you're a bit of a critic. And we're loving it. So hopefully in the next couple of days we'll get another couple of episodes in and we'll be able to update you on where we are.
Finishing, to be fair.
Yeah.
6 more episodes.
Aye.
Oops,
no whistling.
Didn't mean it.
Right, so are we doing emotion of the week?
Emotion of the week, aye.
We were going to last week, we're like, emotion of the week, emotion of the week, emotion. So, David picked the emotion this week.
Aye.
What are we picking?
Confusion.
Right, so what confuses about each other?
Aye, do you want me to go first?
On you go, it looks like on the tip of your tongue.
So what confuses me about Georgia, right, is how she's a manager in this company that she works for. She technically runs 2 businesses, you know what I mean, even though the wrestling school is like technically just mine. She actually basically runs it all for me and runs her community pro wrestling. She is a organising wizard. She can do multiple things, but she can't spell simple things like tuna or do simple mathematic equations like 11 times 12. And that confuses the life out of me. Like, how do you do that? And do you know what also confused me? You say something, right, you write a text, and one word's a wee bit misspelled. She's pure confused. She's as confused as I am. I'm like, what are you talking about? How can your brain not just not? I mean, how does your brain not fix that for you before you even read it? How do you not know?
How do you know spelling it properly?
No, it doesn't matter. Because spell check never obviously worked that one. I was a wee bit fast with it.
That is
ADHD,
so true. I don't know how I've made it this far, because I'm kind of organised it on the background, but it just works.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Man, as long as the spelling doesn't need to be correct, man, or you don't need to do an equation to get the total price that you're sorted.
I know. I actually struggle to know when you've to put a comma in a sentence. That is so bad.
I mean, I can't say nothing about grammar. I'm not saying about your actual grammar. It's more about the spelling and the...
Okay, well, I agree with you.
The maths, fair enough.
Okay, so confusion number 1 for me is why you consistently put empty packets back in the fridge, cupboard, anywhere. Like, if it's empty, it goes in the bin. If it's got something in it, put it back in the fridge. But you do it all the time, then you go with no tomato sauce. I said there's a bottle in it, it's empty. Why is it still in the cupboard then? I think that's a guy thing. Can't you do that? No. He's like, no, never.
Just to remind you that we need some new stuff.
No, just tell me.
Right, fair.
Just text me and tell me.
Don't know how to. I don't know. I don't really have it on that one. It's probably just ADHD.
Is that funny, aye?
Right, so I don't know. I try my hardest to do that, but just like so sometimes I don't put. So for example, if there's a wee sliver of milk left, I'll use that for my tea. But Georgia would bin that. Know what I mean?
I need to drink that.
I'm drinking. I'll stay alright.
You actually drink and eat stuff. It's like days out of date, and it's especially milk.
But what would you done if you were born in the war? What would you done if you were born in 1919 or you were born in 1939? You would not have. You'd had ration food. You'd had to eat blue mouldy cheese, man. That fucking has been put away for months. Alright. So just be quiet and
No,
just
but
do
milk
it.
actual
It's
curdles.
fine, no it doesn't. No, if you put it in your tea, a wee couple of flakes, man, you don't even taste them. Boom, back it down the hatch. Obviously, it's better if it's floating out, you just go a wee. It just goes off. That's you. No, it's no. No, I mean, it's disgusting that you want to waste so much. You talk about recycling. Fuck's sake, use all your milk first then before you recycle, hen.
No. Right, okay. On you go.
Right, my next confusion for you is how you always forget how long we've been going to each other. Like, for example, obviously I've got ADHD, right, and stuff like that. We know that George is quite fussy with stuff, so for example, if I'm going to get her a roll out the dairy or something, right, and it's like a bacon roll, I'll just make sure to double check, is it sauce or no you want with it? And she'll go, David, how long have we been out each other? I'm like, how the fuck you forgot? Know what I mean? Surely you should know that. Know what I mean? Because obviously I would, heaven forbid, I brought her in a roll and it was rang. If it had the sauce on it and she didn't want the sauce on it, she wouldn't fucking eat it and it would just ruin off all day, which then effectively ruins my day. So I'd rather just take the wee 2 seconds to just double check. But then it's so confusing when obviously she starts questioning how long we've been with each other. Like, why have you not got that saved on your phone?
I actually know the perfect date. Sometimes it is a bit ski-whiff because you were playing really hard to get it first and then you came crawling to me, which I think I said a couple of weeks ago on here as well, is that I remember when it's like I'm answering the same question all the time, because see if there was one time you did get me loads of tomato sauce on my bacon, I can't take sauce on bacon. I can't even, if there was a bit of bean juice that even touched my bacon, that full thing's gone in the bin.
So was your day ruined?
Of course.
So my day was probably ruined that day and all.
It was. I can actually remember it vividly.
Right, so that's why I phone you, just to make sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it's quite confusing why
if
you take my wee symbol. That's why it's confusing.
Watch back on next episode and no, I don't put sauce in my bacon.
It's quite confusing, but why you're answering my simple question, my wee question, why not just answer? See, the amount of time you tell me how long we've been going to each other, fuck's sake. No.
That's not really a question, that's just a reminder to say you should know. So sometimes women will do these things where they're not actually asking you a question. They are basically try to put a reminder into your head that you shouldn't be asking me these things.
Why the fuck are multiple women putting reminders in my head? I don't give a fuck about you and what reminders you've got to put in my head then.
Okay, valid. Right, so for me is one thing that really confuses me is that how you can't see there's a massive pile of dishes, but you can so you don't notice there's that a massive pile of dishes in the sink, but you would notice that a tiny 2 centimetre bolt, 1 centimetre bolt was fell off the wrestling ring. How?
Because one could endanger people's lives and one just means it'll be a wee bit harder to fucking do the dishes if you let it sit in a wee bit longer, for fuck's sake, know what I mean? And it's me's going to do the dishes anyway, so if it takes that wee 6 hours longer and sets in a wee bit, that's me that needs to deal with that, so why the fuck's it bothering you, hen?
Because I'm the one that makes the dinner. Right. So you should be washing the dishes.
But as soon as it's done, right in, boom.
Aye.
Fair enough, man.
I know you're going to say, in George's opinion, you've not even swallowed your last bite of food yet and she wants to do the dishes.
Nah, I didn't actually think that, to be fair, but sure fits with it.
Okay, right.
And the last one that confuses me about you, what was it again? I had a couple of good ones. What was that one? Was it? Oh.
Right, do you want me to go?
You go, aye.
Okay, so the last one, and you'll agree with this, is that you can pick scabs better than you can make life decisions.
Well, it was a pick.
He's actually picking his hand right
scab
now.
on my finger.
Yeah, so he, if he's got like a cut or something somewhere, he will pick it to death, and then he'll moan about being sore, but will continuously keep doing it. Yeah. Exactly, it's all his legs and stuff like that. He can't help it. I think that a lot of people do that, to be fair.
Yeah, track marks on my leg, to be honest, with the amount of spots and scabs I've got there. I don't know, man. It's just genuinely one of my top 3 things to do in life. Wrestling, spend time with my family, and pick scabs. And it's not even in that order. Honestly, sometimes the picking scabs is number 1. Sometimes spending time with George, and that's number 1. Sometimes wrestling's number 1. I don't know. It puts me in the zone. Know what I mean? It just, for that going be sitting, the pain just gets rid of all the years of trot knock it done. Oh, the bad knock it done. But no, I like just doing it, man. Right, or
Right, you remembered.
pick. I do remember. I also get confused as why you can't comprehend that my love for wrestling supersedes all sometimes. So when you, like, for example, you just said there about the wrestling ring and the bolt falling off, but I can't remember what the dishes need done. All those times where I can remember back to. No, that's what it is. Actually, that is what it is. Fuck, that was my fault. This was my backup one, which I can go into. But this was actually the one, right? How Georgia. Can't remember something me and her spoke about last night, but she can remember this one time I pissed her off 7.5 years ago at this specific time when I wanted to go to our uncle's for dinner with this cartoon t-shirt on or something like that, or about how I done this and that stuff I can't even remember, and she's bringing it up for all angles. But yeah, if I ask her where did we put that thing last night, sometimes she'll forget about it. No.
Okay. So what else we got to say there?
The fourth one.
I think, so what you were basically saying was that I can't comprehend that wrestling always comes first.
No, always
but
comes first. No, that's not it. No, it wasn't that. It was like how, but you don't get the fact that how my memory for wrestling can be so good for stuff. How I can remember a full match and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't remember put my boxers in the wee
washing basket.
Washing basket and stuff like that. Aye.
Know that you know.
Or how I can't remember to pick up the toilet seat, but yeah, I can remember all that stuff in the wrestling. And obviously, I don't think anybody loves putting their fucking boxers in the washing machine. It's just fucking something that you need to do. Or I don't think anybody likes picking the toilet seat up or putting it down. That was actually a fight when that Love Is Blind. The guy was getting in trouble because he didn't put the fucking toilet seat back down. What is that a big problem for? I take it she just goes in gung ho, pulls her pants down, sits down, man, realises there's no a seat there, and she nearly falls in the fucking toilet, man. Fuck.
That'd be cold as hell. The balls are no joke.
I get a wee kiss on your bumhole, man. Half the water.
You're disgusting. Sometimes I just can't. It gets me confused how you don't realise that wrestling is the math of life. So like when I say to you, I'm no coming to the gala day that you were at on Saturday, you say, "What do you mean you're no coming?" I'm like, I don't need to come and watch absolutely everything that you do. Obviously, majority of the time, if you go like a big match and that, I will always be there. But sometimes like gala days and that, like I don't want to spend my day
me versus Big Strong Man.
A field for hours.
That was a big match. Me versus Big Strong Man for the APW Scottish title, man.
Yeah, I understand. Anyway, we're getting to the end of the episode, and I've got no food reviews, but you have got a food review.
I
get a very honest review.
And you're going to love this one because this is what it all fucking went back to. So last night I was feeling greedy, right? I had a wee quesadilla for my lunch in the restaurant. Not a quesadilla, a chicken burger. And there was a snack van at the side of the wrestling school. So I had that for my lunch. So I wasn't really hungry when George and that was getting a Domino's. So after we watched Love Is Blind, I had a wee bit of sweet tooth. I wasn't really hungry for like chicken, beef, chips, anything like that. I wanted a wee something sweet. So I looked in Just Eat and I started scrolling through for the desserts, and I came to a place called Gelato. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to order this. I ordered myself a Kinder Bueno croissant waffle, whatever you want to say, a croissant waffle, and then I also ordered cookie dough. It was a white raspberry cookie dough, so I thought with the white raspberry cookie dough it was going to be like the old Subway cookies you got with like the raspberry pieces in the cookie, but it was fucking just a normal cookie with white chocolate sauce and raspberries on it. Barking. And then they gave me a bit of Victoria sponge and all hang with, and they gave me that Tango Ice Blast, and it was melted, man. I had to stick it in the freezer.
So you're not impressed?
No, I was not impressed. Honestly, Gelato, up your game. It was absolutely fucking shite. By the time, however far away it was, it took. By the time you go to your cruffle was called, right? The cookie dough was all stuck to your wee tin foil dishing. The thing you get at buffets, it was stuck to that. I had to stick it in the air fryer to heat it up a bit, and then that just kind of had a bit of sausage tint on it, know what I mean? No, I kid not, didn't actually. But you could smell the cooked stuff in the air fryer as it was cooking, but you couldn't actually smell it in the food. What else? So the ice cream was half melted and it was pure, like you call it gelato, and your ice cream was not even gelato ice cream, it was fucking basic normal ice cream. Fromage frais.
Smart price.
I probably. So I wouldn't recommend going there. My own fault for not going to somewhere like Big Licks. They are the one for desserts. So gelato was shite, don't know what it is. It was on Just Eat when I ordered that again. No offence, as I said, my own fault. That's one of these I don't really like. Just Eat at that time of night, you know what I mean? You feel like you're getting the dregs of society, whoever's opened. So that's my own fault for doing that, for going against my own rules and being a greedy bugger. Bo was still up, I should have maybe tuned him in, but I didn't, because again, being a greedy fat bugger, I didn't do it. But hell slapped into me and I got some rotten food. So if I was going to rate it out of 10, I would say I feel like the Croffle had potential. I feel like if that came hot, piping, good bit of ice cream that would just go straight on it, know what I mean, that would have been nice. But it was freezing cold by the time I was eating it, and then like, one of the good things about these things is you're getting the hotness of the pastry, the patisserie, or the cookie or whatever, and then the coldness ice cream kind of combating each other. Well, this was just a cold Croffle with cold ice cream, and I've got kind of sensitive teeth as well, so I couldn't really bite into it, and everything would just oil the place. So it just wasn't for me. Happy if Gelato see this and want to get in contact and try and rectify it. No against it, but right now you're in the bad books, and this clip might go on TikTok. Just sit. No kidding. No kidding. No, I'm not kidding. To be fair, because I need to promote the show, and you love the rotten food reviews, so one of them on TikTok too. I'm just jamming on now, but it was shit.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're rounding it up, eh?
We're rounding up.
Episode 7.
Episode 7. We'll be back on Thursday for episode 8, so we won't actually have had a full week to talk in between, but we'll find something to talk about.
Be prepared.
Sure.
Thank yous.
And good night.
Bye bye.